Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucent, and today I'm going to be reacting to Miley Cyrus's brand new album, Plastic Hearts. Let's go. Quite excited for this one. We all know Midnight Sky came out earlier this year and it is like such a bop. It's honestly one of my favourite songs of the year. And it really surprised me because I've never really been much of a Miley Cyrus fan before. I mean, I loved Wrecking Ball, but like given how good Midnight Sky was, like I'm quite excited to hear this whole album. There's been quite a lot of hype around it, so yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Before we get started though, make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to give this video a like if you do like it. It really helps bump me up in the rankings. Yeah, I'm trying to make my Friday reactions more of a regular thing, so make sure to check in every Friday. I'll be reacting to either the brand new album or something else. Sometimes I might swap it out for like maybe not a reaction, but a different kind of video, but 9 times out of 10, reactions every Friday. I mean, you can always subscribe and then you're just there as soon as the video does come out. So, yeah. I know a few people have been asking in the comments for my social media. My Instagram is @singsongdan. I'll put it up on the screen. I did one TikTok once. I mean, I'm @LucentMusic on there if you want to follow me. But to be honest, like, I'm a bit old for TikTok. Without any further ado, let's get into this reaction. Right, this is track number 1. WTF Do I Know? Interesting. Ooh, it's rocky, isn't it? This is cool. I don't even miss you. It's totally rocky, isn't it? Like, it's really defiant, yeah. It's kind of a bit like Blondie, isn't it? Like, she's got a beautiful voice, really. It's easy to forget that. She's kind of like throwing off like responsibility in a way by kind of saying, you know, I don't know anything, like, stop coming to me for the answers. Ooh, oh, that guitar is cool. Oh, it's totally Blondie, isn't it? Like, that era. Wow. Try and not lose my headphones. I moved on and I don't even miss you. Yeah, that was really cool. Like, I think it's really like setting up the direction that she's going with. There's definitely a retro vibe to it, which I quite like. There's kind of a punky kind of rebellious thing to it, kind of like throwing off expectations of her, like we broke up and I moved on and I don't even miss you, like maybe I'm doing it wrong but actually I don't really care. Okay, so the next song on the album is the title track and this is Plastic Hearts. Ah. Hi, I like the kind of bongos. I like this. She sounds a bit lost. Don't go too close. The idea of a plastic heart, there's a juxtaposition, isn't there? I just want to feel. Ah. Oh God. So she's up trying to feel something. She's in this bar trying to play, trying to have a connection, but her heart is plastic. Nothing's getting in. It's like a loss of identity and not being able to connect with the people around her. Not letting people close, yeah. I like this. I love the beat, I love the rhythm, but it has an unexpectedly deep and dark kind of meaning. I kind of feel bad for her. That line, I just want to feel something. Wow. I really like this. The rhythm keeps on going. She keeps on going. She keeps on dancing. She keeps on playing, but she still can't find that depth of connections she's looking for. She's still got a plastic heart rather than a real beating one. I love that. Oh. Wow. Oh, yeah, that ending was cool. That was really cool. I love that ending where it like built up all the harmonies. There was something, so the key in which it was written seems to be, maybe it was a harmonic minor or something, because there was a specific note that when it went to it, it was like, nah, nah. Yeah, so it's that minor scale where the 7th is raised and it gives it a much more of an ominous feel. And I think she did a really good job of bringing it in that moment, whereas like I just want to feel something but I still feeling nothing. It really kind of adds an extra layer of darkness in that moment, which is really like hits you. And I love how they brought in all the voices at the end to kind of like build that up and then take it all away. Yeah, Such a cool song. Like, it has like these kind of juxtapositions where it's like bouncy and rhythmic, but it's actually really dark. You know, she can't find herself. She can't find this connection. She's going all night long, and yet she still can't make that connection. She still feels like her heart is made of plastic and that she can't let anything in. And it's really fascinating, like setting that to a song that's kind of upbeat in a sense, but still has like a drive to it, you know. It's like she keeps going, but she can't find what she's looking for. Really fascinating song. I like that a lot, actually. So let's go on to the next song. This is Angels Like You, song number 3. Already more acoustic. Oh, the romance. Oh. Ah. I love this. A romance that was fated to not work. Oh. Oh. They're everything I said I would be. Oh my god. It's like she's bringing him down. She's not good enough for him. Oh my god, that's so heartbreaking. Oh my god. I love that line. Wish we never met on the day I leave. Like, I know it's fated not to work because I'm not good enough for you. She puts this person on a pedestal and she can't live up to that, and she feels like, you know, you're an angel, you can't fly down the bottom with me, I'll just bring you down. That's so sad. Wow. She's a good songwriter. Oh. Oh, poor girl. Oh my god. Wow. In this album so far, she feels pretty broken. Like, Angels Like You can't fly down here with me. It's like she sees herself as so below this person that she clearly loves, but she doesn't want to bring them down. She doesn't want to break them because she feels that she's this broken person and that she can never live up to this person that she loves, and she has to leave. Wow, that's so sad. Like, it's really like heartbreaking to hear her talk about herself in that way, you know? I wonder if she's talking about her relationship with Liam Hemsworth, because we know that they have got together and broken up so many times, haven't they? And been married and whatever. It's like, yeah, maybe she's talking about him. I don't know. It was really sad, but I think it was really good. I think musically, like, it's really competent. She uses an interesting scale, and she's using them at really pertinent points in the song to really give it a real edge and it feels different. And she uses it at a point in which she really wants to evoke more emotion in you. And yeah, like, I really appreciate that element of it. So let's go on to the next song. This is Prisoner feat. Dua Lipa. So let's hear what this collab has to offer. Getting right to it. Already sounds more poppy. You can already hear Dua Lipa's influence. Cool. So they feel trapped by not being able to forget this person. It's like that person isn't actually necessarily keeping them prisoner, but they feel in their heads that they're like a prisoner of this person because they can't stop thinking about them. It's quite a cool idea, actually. Maybe she's broken up with this person, but she still can't forget them, still can't move on. It feels like quite a cool, like, halfway point between Miley's more like rocky drama and Dua Lipa's kind of more disco tight retro vibe. It's quite a cool collab in that way. Yeah, that was quite cool. Like, I really like that kind of juxtaposition in the main lyric. At first I thought, you know, maybe there's in the relationship with this person that she's talking about, that he can't maybe like give up on her, you know, but actually it seems like it's very much the other way around, because she's saying, you know, I can't get you off my mind, I've tried 1,000,000 times, why won't you let me go? It's like the thought of him is keeping her prisoner. So this is song number 5. This is Gimme What I Want. Ooh. Has a darkness to it, doesn't it, already? Pleasure and pain. Monstrous, isn't it? Hook up, I think. Yeah. All I need is that one thing, just to keep me going. I like how it's kind of like she's representing the monstrous part of herself. It's midnight, the moon's out, but rather than the werewolf being a real monster, it's like the hookup. That one night stand isn't like a good thing. It's like a primal need. Give it to me or I'll give it to myself. I think I know what that might be about. It's cool though. It really has like the music feels monstrous and primal. That's really cool actually. I quite like that. I love that kind of like, she's building up that metaphor of the night, and she's building up that metaphor of like monstrous darkness, the plastic heart there, you know, it's all like impersonal and like almost like she feels broken, and the only way that she can kind of represent herself is through this kind of monstrous darkness and this kind of primal need for a hookup. It's not a healthy love, it's not romance, it's darkness and being broken. I think that's kind of some of the core themes that have come out, and that kind of that metaphor of the night. We know that Midnight Sky's coming up, right? It kind of feels like it all works together, you know, it feels like it's part of a whole. Right, a little bit of a cake break there. Right, okay, so let's go on to song number 6. This is Nightcrawling feat. Billy Idol. Oh, again, we've got that kind of darkness, right? Nightcrawling. It's kind of like the villain's theme in a superhero movie. Ha! Wow. She's like, I'm unreliable, like, broken again. Ah. Cool. Cool. It's kind of 80s. So she's out at night and she's looking for attention. She's broken. She is unreliable. It's more of this idea that she's working her way through her feelings of being broken. It kind of adds like a darkness, another element of darkness to it in his voice. It's kind of like an interesting mix of influences. The whole album is quite an interesting mix of influences. Oh, that like ooh in the background almost sounds like a werewolf or something, doesn't it? There's definitely some like real retro rock vibes in all of these songs. Again, this sounds quite 80s Blondie kind of style. It's really interesting that she uses like kind of like an 80s synth over something that's quite kind of dark. Oh, yeah. And again, it's like adding to this idea that like she's this broken monster prowling the streets at night. I love that imagery of like looking for attention, like under the disco ball, you know. It's kind of a retro throwback, but also kind of has this like, it's kind of desperate imagery, you know, very dark. There's a lot of darkness on this album. So let's do song number 7. This is Midnight Sky. Yeah, I love Midnight Sky. I've listened to it so many times. So I will be singing along and I will be dancing along. So dance and sing along with me. La 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 la. Many years went by with my hands tied up in your ropes. Forever and ever, no more. So it feels like she's breaking free of something in this song. There's definitely a more positive element to the darkness, you know. Fire in my lungs, can't fight the devil on my tongue, you know it's true, yeah. So is Miley Cyrus bi? Because like she definitely sings of like, feel my lips on her mouth. There's a rebelliousness to that lyric, you know. I don't want to speak for her sexuality, but she's almost doing it to provoke a response in a way. If I want to make a couple mistakes, I feel like she's owning the darkness. She's owning that she like has darkness and that she has broken parts to her. But she's actually in this song is throwing off those expectations, you know, because she actually realizes that she doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. She is who she is. It does feel like a turning point on the album, actually. I can't hide a blurry eyes. There's such an like honesty in this song. She's finally being honest with herself and actually saying these elements of my personality that can be perceived as broken, it's just who I am. It's just such a good song. I love it so much. You know it's true. You know it's true. Loved by you. That song is so good. That song is still so good. I love how it feels like the darkness and the nighttime so far in the album has been synonymous with feeling broken. And I feel like with Midnight Sky, that metaphor kind of changes because she's saying, you know, the midnight sky is the road I'm taking, head high up in the clouds. Like, I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. I don't need to be loved by you. It's kind of like saying, you know, actually maybe the darkness and the nighttime and all of the things that can be perceived as being broken and wrong, actually, that's who I am. And I don't need you to be accepting of me because I'm accepting of me. That song really turns around the kind of negativity of the first half of the album, turns it around, and actually I feel like she's embracing those parts of herself. And I'm hoping that like there'll be kind of more of that kind of upward trajectory throughout the rest of the album, because it's really cool. As a storyline, you can really feel a turning point there. Cool, let's go on to the next song. So this is song number 8. This is Hi. Hi. No, not hi, but Hi. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Huh. Oh, I love it. This one feels more country. Oh, yes. Oh, oh my God, I love this. Oh my God. Sometimes I miss you, but I still feel high. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I love this. This reminds me of that song, Home. It kind of has that kind of country road kind of thing. Oh, yes. Ah! She did her best saying goodbye, but sometimes she still thinks of him, even though she thinks she's over it. But I still feel high. Oh, this is sick. There's something about a chorus of voices to just really project a feeling. Oh, wonderful. I love this. I love it so much. She's still kind of celebrating the fact that she's managed to get past him, despite the fact that she still sometimes thinks of him. She's kind of admitting the darkness, admitting the broken parts of herself, and still feeling high. Oh my God, I loved that. So good. I love that. It really reminded me of wow, wow. Has that sense of that slow beat that's like rolling, it's going, and then the chorus of voices come in just to kind of like, it's that kind of like country meets gospel kind of, it's almost like a chant, it's almost like a like, I don't know, there's a real group energy to that. Oh, so beautiful. I'm going to add that to my playlists, definitely. I loved that. And I love the story-wise, as I was saying before, it felt like Midnight Sky was a turning point, and this really hammers that home. She's saying, you know, sometimes I get a little bit too hurt, and sometimes I go to really dark places in my head, and I thought I'd done a really good job of saying goodbye, but I'm still thinking of you, but it doesn't stop me from feeling high. I still feel like I've owned this darkness in my personality. I still think I've owned the fact that I'm broken, because despite it all, I still feel good. I love that. I love that sentiment. It really feels like she's learnt something. Beautiful. Love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Cool. Okay, so let's go on to song number 9. This is Hate Me. Aw. Yeah. Huh. Aw. Wow, she's kind of picturing, like, what if she were to die? And like what would he think? Would he still hate her? Or would he forgive her? Oh, shit. I hope that it's love to make you cry. Oh. I love this. This is really good. Oh my God. I really loved that. Maybe one day you won't hate me. She's kind of like reflecting on like what he now thinks of her after he is kind of like, she's kind of left a trail of destruction, you know. It kind of feels as if maybe he might have good reason to hate her at the moment. But what if one day I died? Like, I hope all my friends would get drunk and high. Love that. But, you know, would it be enough to make you cry? Oh my God, what a lyric. She feels so guilty about what she did to this person that she thinks that actually if she died, hopefully it would be enough to make them cry, but she doesn't know that, you know? And it's like, I feel like in reality, I'm sure that this person would be very upset, but in her head, it's like she feels like she's messed it up so bad. I don't know, there's something so unique about that. Yeah, I really like that. It's so cool, bloody hell. This is a really, really cool album. So this is song number 10. This is Bad Karma feat. Joan Jett. That like breathing thing is quite... Okay, it's definitely sex. Ooh, a little bit under the collar. She's kind of saying, you know, I'd rather just take on the bad karma and just act in the way that feels natural to me, you know, even if I'm going to get bad karma for it. She's definitely owning herself at this point. The double live, that's totally Hannah Montana vibes, isn't it? This is a bit of a weird song. Oh, it's picking up now, but she's definitely owning her decisions and her independence, trusting her instincts. She's kind of, yeah, she's embracing the bad karma, saying, I'm just gonna do what I want because, like, you can't control these things, so I may as well just live in the most authentic way to me and take the bad karma if it comes. Again, it's like furthering this sentiment that she's kind of like owned who she is at this point, and she's saying, you know, like, bad karma, just come on. I really like that the album has this journey to it. Right, let's go on to song number 11. This is Never Be Me. Oh, Walk the Line. Johnny Cash reference there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that person. Harder she tries to be somebody else. That's just not who she is. Oh, she's really just accepting herself. She's like, I don't want to do you wrong. I don't want to mess you around. So I'm going to tell you, this is who I am. I'm not stable. That's just not who I am, you know? Yeah. She's kind of learned to give up trying to be someone she isn't, you know? It's kind of like saying, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep lying to you anymore, you know? She's still there for you. It's just not in the way that you want her to be. I like that. Yeah, that was really good. That really feels like the pinnacle of this kind of self-acceptance. And it kind of feels like quite a mature album for that, because like there's no bravado to it. It's kind of this, it's sad, but this is the situation. I can never be that uber romantic. I'm not the person who's stable and who is going to be the love of your life, because I'm just not that person. There's no point me trying to change myself anymore, because it only results in broken darkness, you know, which is what we found at the beginning of the album. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that she has kind of had this kind of journey of, like, through this like breakup, has had a journey of self-discovery and is learning to accept the parts of herself that she might not like and the parts of herself that other people kind of expect of her. She's okay not living up to that anymore. Yeah, it's really good. Really, like, deep, actually. My vision of her has never necessarily been one of emotional depth, and maybe it's taken her this time to actually find that emotional depth, but I'm really appreciating it on this album. Let's go on to Golden G-String. Talking of emotional depth, let's go on to a song called Emotional G-String. Okay, Emotional G-String, Golden G-String. I'm hoping that this has some sort of double meaning, tongue-in-cheek thing, and that it's not just literal, because it's not my vibe. I think she's looking back at her career. The old boys hold all the cards, yeah. Yeah. I think I'll stay in the industry. Yeah. I went against what everyone thought of. It's like that kind of rebelliousness. Yeah. Really feels very reflective on who she was in the industry. She was wearing the golden G-string, doing stuff just to shock people, just to get a name in the papers. Have you looked around this place? Yeah, like, you can't call me crazy because everyone's messed up. And I should move away from the industry, but she's choosing to stay because she feels like, I don't know, maybe she just feels like she can own herself more. She has more control. It's not your fault that it's, you know, you're a product of your world. Yeah. She's kind of owning like what she did back in the day because actually she's a product of the industry, you know? Yeah. I really like that. That wasn't what I expected from a song called Golden G-String, and it was actually had quite a lot of emotional depth and maturity to it. You know, it is very deep, and that Golden G-String is like the reference to who she was before. You know, that point in the industry where she was doing Wrecking Ball on the massive Wrecking Ball and licking a hammer, and you know she was doing it in rebellion, and she was doing it, but like actually she's looking back at that time now and kind of giving herself a break because actually it wasn't all her fault. Actually, so much of the industry is especially for female pop stars, is like this pressure to sex it up. And the reality is that she herself was just a pawn in the chess pieces of all these old men who hold all the cards, to mix metaphors. And she's giving herself a break because she was just trying to like find herself, but under the microscope of working and living in the industry, she went off the rails. You know, you dare to call me crazy, but have you looked around this place? Like, there's like, you know, there's like, everyone's broken, everyone's had a hard time, and everyone does crazy things once in a while. And I like that kind of resolute thing at the end of the chorus where she says, actually, you know what, I should leave, I should walk away from it, I should leave all this darkness behind me, but actually I think I'm going to stay. And I think that that's kind of her, rather than running away from her past, running away from the industry, running away from the darkness, that's the kind of ultimate statement of her saying, actually, I'm going to own it. And I think that now I'm a much more like stable grown-up person. I think I can handle it in the industry now, you know. It feels like she's retaken control of her narrative with this new music over the last few years, and this is the point where she has artistic control and she has control of who she is. Or maybe she doesn't have control, but she's okay with that now, you know. So the last 3 songs, 2 of them are covers, and then one's the Stevie Nicks remix. I haven't actually heard the Stevie Nicks remix yet. I was kind of saving it for the album reaction, so I think I'll do that one. I'll skip the covers because you know, I've heard them before and they're covers. This is the Edge of Midnight feat Stevie Nicks. Oh, love this. This is cool. Oh yes, of course. Oh my god, that's so funny. She must have been inspired by this song when she wrote Midnight Sky. That's cool. I love that. The songs already kind of align anyway, don't they? It's almost like a mashup, isn't it? Ooh. This is such a cool way to like re-release a single. La, 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 la. That's cool. I love that. I love that they do like a version of Midnight Sky that just happens. It's like a remix, but also a mashup. It's cool. I love it. My God, right. So that's the end of the album. Well, kind of. I mean, I skipped the covers, but whatever. Like, I was pleasantly surprised by that. Like, actually, there was so much depth in that album. Like, it really felt like it started off as a place of real darkness, and she felt so broken in the earlier songs. But with Midnight Sky, which is the single, I feel like it's quite fitting that song, which is so good, we all love it, and that has been such a hit for her, is the song that on the album is the turnaround, you know, embracing the dark sides of her personality, saying, this is who I am, I was born to run, and I don't belong to anybody, and I'm letting go of what you think about me. And I love how that is the song that is kind of been that turnaround in her career as well. Very poetic in itself. And I love how then the later songs on the album then went to kind of pick apart certain elements of her personality and reflect upon herself, which has been quite a common theme in all this kind of lockdown music. There's a lot of self-contemplation and a lot of reflection. And the back half of the album really feels like that, you know. And I really appreciated that. It really felt like she shared with us like some really dark sides of her personality to actually just say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to accept the darkness in myself. And she frames that in different ways towards the end of the album, to a point where she directly references the past of her career where people called her crazy and she went through this crazy phase. And she says, you know what, I'm okay with it. I've moved on and this is who I am now. And I'm choosing to move forward with my life, accepting who I am. And I really, really like that. So cool. What a good album. Yes. Right, well, you'll have to tune in December to see where it ranks in my top albums of the year. In a few weeks' time, I will be ranking my favourite songs and my favourite albums of the year, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video in a few weeks' time. I'm sure that this album and Midnight Sky will feature in those videos somewhere. But you'll have to tune in to see where. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you like this video. My reactions are almost like kind of reactions and immediate analysis of lyrics, because as a singer-songwriter myself, I just love digging into lyrics and understanding the meanings of the songs I'm listening to. So that's kind of where my reactions are always from. So if you like that, yeah, please subscribe to the channel and check out any of my old reactions. I've done Lady Gaga, I've done a lot of Taylor Swift, because big Taylor Swift discovery year for me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite songs are. Of course, get into the comments. I love going through all the comments and reading all your comments. So please get into the comments and tell me what your favorite songs are and what you thought of the album. Right, thanks for tuning in to the end. I'll see you again soon. Bye.